Hi there guys, welcome back to our in-depth miniature review of the new Eclipse Second Dawn of the Galaxy. Here we are, we're going to just have a quick run through of some of these amazing miniatures that are now in this new expansion.
Yeah, I absolutely love these miniatures, and in case you've not seen my intro from previous videos, I'm E Ohh, the rules lawyer, one of the newest members of the Diary of a Lincoln Geek team.
Yeah, it's nice to have you along, George. So without further ado, shall we start looking at some of these amazing miniatures from this new second version?
Yes, indeed. Okay. I think they're absolutely fabulous, and I'm sure you're going to love them too. So, the first of our new models is the Galactic Center Defense System, or GCDS for short, because who has time to say Galactic Center Defense System? God, it's a mouthful. So, as you can see on each hex, it is very imposing. A really nice big miniature here. Incredible levels of detail on it, and one which is really very imposing as a centerpiece within the board.
It does make an incredible centerpiece.
It does.
Looks amazing.
As I say, I'm really looking forward to getting my paints out and painting up not just this, but all the miniatures in this set. I think they look fantastic.
I think we're going to see some amazing paint jobs done, and I would encourage people to share any pictures that they have of their painted models. We like to see painted models, so do drop us a line at doalg.co.uk. I'll use the hashtag DOALG if you use Twitter.
So, I shall just move the lovely GCDS out the way for a second to introduce one of my favourite of the new miniatures, the MONOLITH. So, before, all done via tokens, the MONOLITH is an absolutely wonderful piece that really shows off the majesty of what it is for a 3 victory point token. The token didn't do it justice, and I think this piece again has lots of detail, seeing all the stone markings through it and the cracks. It looks fabulous. I can't wait to play more with these once they're painted up. Monoliths have always been a great strategy in Eclipse, and I think people will want to do it more just to use the models.
Yeah, totally agree. I think it's a nice representation of what was really an underrated, piece of tactic from the game. And
let's face it, also slightly memeable because of its iconic thing in 2001 at the Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
So, the third one, again, previously done on on just a token only. We now have an orbital model, something which is absolutely fabulous, and they've even thought this through to allow enough space to actually put your population cube in the model itself.
Nice touch.
So absolutely lovely little feature, and I see these being used so much as orbitals have been significantly improved in this edition of the game. So, the other classic from the old game, again, just a token. It was a ship. Give us one. So we have the aliens, or the ancients to use their proper term, but these ancient ships really are very imposing and do actually make them look like the Freds, where they never used to be, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, that's a really nice model. I really do like the detail on that. That's great.
So, from old game concepts to something brand new, we now have the Guardians. So, another one that's brand new is the Guardians. So, for those that may have played Rise of the Ancients expansion from the first edition, these are very similar to the Ancient Homeworlds, but they've just slightly refreshed the mechanics for Second Dawn of the Galaxy. These Guardian models do look fabulous, and just the introduction of Guardian Homeworlds is a really interesting feature to the game for those that hadn't played with the Rise of the Ancients expansion previously.
Yeah, it does look good.
So, as we mentioned earlier on unboxing video, all the player trays now come with the alien ships as standard. So, Lautapelit went one step further and they've redesigned all of the Terran ships. So we now have some slightly Star Trek themed Terran ships with their clear saucer sections and very round looking star bases. So Chris, Miss Chris even, gotta use your title.
Yeah.
So I love all these new models. I would say my favourite, I think, has to be the Monolith. I love that movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I think those models are just so beautiful, simple in design, but executed really well. What's your favourite?
So mine's probably got to be the GCS. It's just this looming piece of incredible design. It's almost got this city look that you would see from Bespin, or even from Coruscant, from Star Wars fans.
Definitely.
Yeah, and even a bit, almost a Blade Runner kind of look.
Oh yes.
And I can imagine, anyone that's going to want to paint this will kind of apply that kind of effect to it. It really does. It really picks out the detail. It is just an awesome piece of kit, even down to the detail of the guns and the battery, gun batteries as well. And you've even got what looks like the centre of the city with a water fountain in there. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it, and I tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the paint jobs that people do.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, the monoliths, they're really good for having these lovely stone striations through and the cracks. They are beautiful little models, and I love placing them down just to see them. They are lovely.
They look great. I mean, I don't dislike any of the models, they're all great, but they are definitely my favourites. I really do love the fact that this, with the orbital, it actually holds the little token. It's brilliant. It's the little things like that, and they all have stands.
Yeah.
They actually, not the ships per se, but the generic pieces that get put on the board by any player. They have stands, so they're not flopping all over the place. Can't exactly, easily knock them over. They're absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So, I will give my hats off to the game designers. They've done a great job with sculpting these miniatures.
Yeah, and funny you do actually mention stands, because now all of the dreadnoughts and cruisers now do have a hole in the bottom for actual stands to be put on them, so you can actually get more ships per hex.
Oh, fantastic.
Again, they do provide... They do have stands for sale that deliberately fit them, and I say something I've not got around to purchasing yet.
Yeah, yet. But no, they look great. So I would say anyone looking to invest in Eclipse I don't think will be disappointed with the models. They are, probably my favourite part of it. I like the game, don't get me wrong, but seeing new elements like this, I think is good. It's not just a cop-out. They haven't just redesigned the board and the rules. They've actually introduced new elements which will encourage people to buy the game again. Because I was in two minds about buying it. I would definitely consider buying it now. Particularly with the revisions in the rules. But it's those miniatures that really do sell it for me.
Yeah, I was saying, when you consider the number of miniatures that you get, you get at least 10 of these orbitals, at least 10 of the monoliths, you get 4 guardians, and more alien ships than I've cared to count so far.
Yeah, no.
When you think of the price of miniatures in general, it's clear to see where the price tag comes from, and I think it's well worth it personally.
Well, exactly. And when you compare models, to industry standard model miniature manufacturers like Games Workshop, that they've clearly, taken manufacturing techniques with, I think they've used injection molding, which is probably why these have come out so well, with very little residue and very little flash mold lines. So it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. You've got less to clean up on them, and you can just crack on with painting them if you want to. And if you don't want to do that, just playing them with as they are. There's nothing for you to do out of the box.
No.
It's brilliant. So, really do have done a grand job with them.
Indeed.
Yep. Well, that concludes our miniature review, in depth look at Eclipse Second Dawn of the Galaxy, Dawn for the Galaxy.
Yeah, I think these are fabulous, and I'd love to hear what your new favourite miniature is.
Yeah, so please guys, do comment, like, follow us, and let us know. So this is Chris
And Georgie O
signing off from Diary of a Local Geek.